Welcome to part 2 of my mini series called This Video Is Not For You, where I teach myself how to code in C#. Today we're going to talk about if statements. If statements is a conditional statement that tests something to be true. To give you an example, you ask yourself, do you like cake? Either your answer is going to be yes or it's going to be no. So an if statement tests that theory, and if it's true, it executes one piece of code, and if it's not, it either doesn't execute it, or you can create a line of code that says else, that creates the alternative statement for your code. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So we're going to continue with the code that I started yesterday. We asked the user what is their name. They provided their name, where they're from, and what is their birth month. I want to continue with the birth month, and I wanted to give them their horoscope sign. So in order to do that, we're going to create a if statement. So we're going to say if month is equal to let's do January. And we're going to tell the user that they are an Aquarius. I think that's what January's is. So what if your birthday is not in January? So like I mentioned earlier, we're going to create a else if. So we're going to say month equals February. We're going to console dot write line you are I think it's Pisces. So before I continue to go, let's run through this code. So the user is going to tell me, or I'm going to ask the user what is their birth month. We stored it in a variable called month, and we display it back to them. So now I wanted the user to tell the user what their horoscope sign was. So depending on the user's answer, because remember we stored it in a month, if the month that they provided equals to January, we're going to write that they are in Aquarius. So let's actually change that. Say you are in Aquarius. So you have the formula for an if statement is if, and you have the condition, and then the execution statement. So you notice you have two equal signs, and here you have one equal sign. This equal sign represents equal to. So this month absolutely equals the variable that the user put in for this month absolutely equals January. And variable month meaning that console.write line is what equates to this month, if that makes sense. I don't know any other way to put it. I'm gonna have to go back and do some reading, but as far as my understanding, that's how I get it. So I'm going to continue to write this code for the rest of the horoscope months. So a good rule of thumb for if statements is you only want to nest 3 if statements, because if you look at this can get very long. So if you can only, it'd be best practice if you can nest 3 or less if statements. So let's run this code and see what the results that we will get. So what is your name? My name is Martin Bell. Where are you from? I am from Norfolk. What is your birth month? My birth month is September. Look at that. Your name is Martin Bell. You are from Norfolk. Your birth month is September, and you are Virgo. Great. So again, today's video was about if statements. If statements can be very useful when you need to test a condition to be true. And I think we're going to build upon this code and see if we can make it more efficient, because the way it looks now is it doesn't look too good, too pretty. That's going to conclude today's video. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, this video is not for you, it's for me. Peace.